All right, we are recording, so we're good to go. It is, boy, what date is it? The 25th, I believe. Yep, 25th, January 25th here. So this is our second training for Acquisition Air. We know a lot more than we knew on the last training at this point. There's a lot of people using the system, and that is awesome. We've learned a lot about not only how to use the system, but how to sell the system. And we were at TNC. Several of us spent 3 days on the show floor talking to people about this. And we figured out pretty much what's important and what's not important, and what turns people on and what turns people off. And it's really important, if you're going to sell this as a service, that you understand that and you don't mess that up, because that's conversion. And, business is all about conversion, traffic and conversion. If you get in front of people, that's your traffic. If you blow it on the conversion, that's your sales. And, we're all in this to grow the business and, improve our lives. So traffic and conversion, those are the two big key points. I talk in ACT about how important it is to do your analysis and your messaging. And that really is the prelude to everything. So we're working on that. I know originally I was kind of steering clear of getting into the marketing end of this. I was going to kind of let everybody just be on their own for that. And that's just not the case anymore. We're going to get in. We're going to do everything that we can to help you guys to go out and make a bunch of money with this. I mean, we built the system for you guys to make money. This is a vehicle. It's like we're handing you a money printing machine. And we've never really had that before. In the past, we've always focused on SEO to drive traffic and the ACT program to get your messaging right and put your funnels together and all that. But at this point, we literally have a money printing machine to put in your hands. And we want to make sure that you don't miss that opportunity, because this is a huge opportunity. With this technology, you are so far ahead and above everyone else. You have what you need to be really, really wildly successful at this point. But you've got to change the mindset. Mindset in business is everything. If you're not confident, you're not going to win. You've got to be confident about things. And one of the things that I see a lot of people do, and this product is no different. They get into something and they think they've got to know everything about it, and they've got to do all this stuff, and all they're doing is putting speed bumps in front of yourself. That's all you're doing. It's like, you don't have to do this for yourself to prove that it works to sell it to someone else, right? You need to get that out of your head. Unless you are a professional email marketer, you're going to fail. You're going to fail right out of the gate, and you're never going to experience the win that we could hand you right now. You've got to get that out of your head. If you are a professional marketer, you can do that service for more customers, knowing that you've got the traffic to fuel that system. So let's first talk about who this is perfect for and who it's not perfect for. Because I know a lot of you guys are already trying to sell this to the wrong people, and you're failing doing that. And you're going to continue to fail if you continue to do that. And it's like, if you bump your head against the wall, not a good idea to just keep doing that. Eventually you're either going to get bludgeoned and bloody, or you're going to pass out, right? And that's not what I want for you. I don't know about you guys, but I have a very soft head. I bump it once, that's it, I'm good. So I move on and look for softer walls. So the wrong audience to sell this to is somebody that does not know how to convert. If they do not have a function in their business that they can drive traffic to that converts people to customers, you need to move on. This is not right for them. It's not right for you to sell it to them. You need to find the people that are running successful businesses. This is not a lifeboat for a struggling business that doesn't know how to run their business. It's not. I don't know that anything is other than hooking them up with somebody that knows how to create proper marketing for their business. And this is not that. This is a traffic fueling machine. So if they're not ready to convert, they're not ready for traffic, right? The conversion part is first. So you need to stop focusing on those people. Look for the people that are already doing marketing. They're already doing cold email marketing. They're already buying traffic. People that are buying traffic, for the most part, if they're buying it on any kind of volume, I can almost assure you they know how to convert it, or they wouldn't continue to do that, right? There's a lot of people out there that know how to convert traffic. Those are the ones that, like, I use this as a perfect example. If you find somebody, I know a lot of people that are in this boat. They're spending like 30 grand on Facebook ads every month, month after month. The money just keeps going out. And you ask yourself, why are they not spending 40 grand? The simple reason is they're buying all of it. There's not 40 grand to buy, or they'd be buying it, right? That's why they're buying 30 grand worth. I think Facebook's got some kind of a trigger in it where that's about all they'll let you have. So that person, if you approach that person and you say, hey, I have a new unique traffic method that can fuel your sales even more. Are you interested in that? Do you think they're going to say no? They know what to do with these leads. They'll buy all you can give them. That's a perfect ideal target customer for this. If you want to go up the ladder and really get a jumbo, if you want to go bag an elephant, find a marketing company that is building marketing campaigns successfully for people. And usually they'll have a traffic buyer in the company. Because think about it. When you have a successful business, what do you create? You create upsells. You sell your existing customers more. So if you can go in and you can hand that company an upsell to now sell them traffic to fuel the successful campaigns that they just built, how many leads are they going to buy from you? You know, it's not about you trying to sell leads to a company that's only going to buy 10 leads a day. That is going to give you a job. You're going to work really hard. You're going to be you're never going to be uber successful doing that. You need to find volume. You know, it's not about how much you can mark these leads up. It's about how many you can move. You know, forget trying to make $100 a lead and sell 10 leads a day. Forget it. That's not where the money's at. The money's at where you can find volume. You can give these people a super deal, just like what we're doing with you guys. We're not making a ton of money on the leads. We're making, you know, pennies on the leads, but our goal is to sell millions of them. Millions of pennies adds up really fast. So that's what you got to kind of get in your mind, is who is right for this, and stop spending your time, wasting your time, uh, just, you know, turning the wrong rocks over, for lack of a better word. You gotta do like in ACT, you know, I teach this over and over and over for the last 10 years. You have to identify the most profitable segment of the market that you're going to serve if you want to be really successful. And you focus your efforts there. You identify the profitable segment, figure out who your buyer is in there, aka your avatar, and really figure out what is it they want, why do they want it, and how can you deliver that for them. If you do that, I don't care what you're doing, you're going to be successful. If you operate outside those borders and outside those standards, you're going to struggle. Probably not going to make it in the long run. So I just really wanted to get that covered up front because it's probably the most important thing. It's the key to your success using acquisitionaire. It's also the key to your success in anything you're going to do. Right? I've been saying this for years. Just because I brought this product to life doesn't mean that all the parameters changed overnight. They did not. They are exactly the same. This didn't change the principles of business. It's just I'm giving you guys such an opportunity here to make a windfall, and I don't want you to blow it because we don't know how long this window is going to last. As with anything, we have actually put a label on this as an industry of pre-targeting. Richard kind of threw that out to life, and we all applauded him for that because it was brilliant. This is pre-targeting. We created this industry. All of us collectively, we own it. We're going to build it. That doesn't mean that competitors aren't going to come in and creep into the edges at some point. Right now, you have the edge. You've got the advantage. We're the only ones doing this. So they can't get it anywhere else. So you have a huge advantage in that. I really don't want you to blow it. It's like when I came into internet marketing, it wasn't really internet marketing. It was like I came into the hosting space. And at that time, nobody was offering it. No, it was a mystery. And it was so easy to get business. I grew a very large business really fast because I could do something no one else knew how to do. And that's where we are again. So I want to see you guys have the success I had by taking advantage of that when I first entered this market. And you've got that opportunity and ability right now. So I don't want to beat a dead horse, but I'm telling you, this is the time to move your feet. This is the time to pay attention. This is the time to listen very carefully to what I'm saying and get your mindset right. Again, don't blow it. So we're going to do everything that we possibly can to help and make sure that that is the case. And, like I said, originally I wasn't focused on the marketing. I was really just focused on bringing this thing to life and getting it on the plate. And now that we've done that, I'm kind of turning my gun now to help you even further with the marketing of how to position it, how to sell it. Let me tell you the worst thing you can do when you're talking to somebody about this or any other product you're selling. Stay out of the freaking weeds. Do not take your prospects into the weeds. They don't like it. Nobody likes to get stuffed in the weeds. Their eyes will glaze over and they'll walk away. You only need to tell them what is important to them, what they need to hear, and then let them engage you. So, for instance, at Traffic and Conversion, the conversations started out not only with me, but with Brady and with Chris and all the people that were there helping us. All the conversations started out, and it was a 10-minute conversation. And you could literally see the excitement in the people in the first 30 seconds to a couple of minutes. And then their excitement dwindled and they wound up walking away. And I'm like, all right, that's not right. That is not right. We're doing something wrong. So at that point, I took a step back, and instead of me presenting, I just listened to what was going on and I saw it. I'm like, all right, you guys are going in the weeds. You got to stop that. And then I stepped back forward and gave it another crack, knowing what I just learned. And I got it down to like 30 seconds. All you need to tell them is this. And this was basically my pitch at TNC once I got it dialed in. When somebody asks, what is this? What do you do? I simply said, we monitor search across the entire internet. When somebody runs a keyword in a search box that you're interested in, we start monitoring them. We see what they're looking at next. When they look at two pieces of relevant content, we now flag them as a buyer. This is a high intent search lead. We then take that and we go to a big data center and we buy their contact information and we ship it to you in real time. So you can literally follow up with this person while they're still on the search box, while they're still looking at content, while they're still interested. And that's it. I shut my mouth and watched their jaws drop. That was it. That was the pitch. I believe it was probably less than 30 seconds. It's all they needed to hear. They didn't need to hear about all the tech on the backside. They didn't need to hear about all the crap about hooking it up to autoresponders. They did not need to go in the weeds. All they needed to do was hear what they needed to hear to go, oh my God, I need this. That is it. It's like when you're selling something, stay in the track of what they want, not what they don't want. They don't want all the work. They don't want all the ancillary bullshit that goes along with it. They just want what they want. They want active leads of people that are searching for what they want. That is it. So stay on that track. Don't take them into the weeds. If they ask a technical question, address it on a high level. Don't get into how it all works. Just address it on a high level. If they say, you know, what if I have a different CRM? No problem. You can just use something like Zapier to connect them. So when the lead comes in, boom, it goes to your CRM and the email goes out. That's it. That's the 30,000-foot answer to that question. It's not going in and showing them how Zapier works. Stop taking them in the weeds. Say, if you don't understand that, I'm sure you have a tech guy. He's going to get it. He'll fix it for you. If not, we'll get somebody to do it for you. Don't worry. That's it. Don't go into the weeds. Any kind of a tech question, stay out of the freaking weeds. These people, if they're asking that stuff, they don't understand it. They don't want to understand it. They don't want to get rolled in the weeds and get dirty. Just let them understand there's a solution. It's not a problem. You don't have to worry about it. That's what they want to hear. Right? It's really simple. I mean, if there's anything you're going to take out of this for the rest of your life, whatever you're selling, stay out of the weeds. If you take that away from this, you're going to be a winner. So, all right. I really wanted to get that up front. Let me answer Randy here. Randy, what do you got?
A quick question.
Sure.
So I was listening to what you were saying, and I get it, but I didn't write it down quick enough because you basically said that you let them know that we monitor the entire internet for people who basically are searching for, and we see what keywords they're typing into their keyboard in real time, and then we monitor their multiple searches similar content. And then you said, and then we pay for their dot dot dot. I didn't get what you meant.
Yeah, we go to a data center and we basically buy their contact information. And that answers the question of how we're able to legitimately, legally email them and reach out to them.
Got it.
On a 30,000-foot level, we had a situation this week when we were talking to a very large company that has a big legal department, and that was their big concern was, hey, how do we know that we legally can connect with these people? So we gave them a 30,000-foot view. It wasn't enough. We had to take them a little bit into the weeds, and that
Mhm.
was good enough. We didn't have to
So
go all the way and roll them and tumble them in the weeds.
So okay. So if we do exactly what you said to somebody who we know is already paying for leads, already has a convert is already converting leads, has a system, etc., and we say exactly this, and then we give them our let's say I'm not trying to white label, so I'm passing on my affiliate link to them, and I'm saying check this link out, blah blah blah. Now if they have a question after they go and check it out, because I think there's a video there that explains it. We can use your intro video that you gave us.
Yes.
Then do we pass them directly to you via email? Because I can't answer their technical questions.
Yes. Well, I got the answer for that.
Okay.
So if you're an affiliate marketer, like that's Randy's question, if he's just going to be an affiliate, he finds somebody that this could really work for, your affiliate link is your key. You send them across to the Acquisitionaire website with your affiliate link,
Right.
and you don't have to worry about the technical questions. I solved that last night around midnight for you.
Awesome.
So I'm gonna show you here the Acquisitionaire website, and I'm gonna reload it. Like this is what they would see when they first got here. It comes up, and then within 3 seconds, guess what's gonna happen? Becky's gonna pop up and ask how she could help. She
Oh,
is the lead gen expert. Her name is Becky. She says, "Welcome to Acquisitionaire. I'm Becky, your AI leads flight attendant. I specialize in rerouting buyers to business destinations. How can I serve you today?"
very
And
cool.
this is connected to the Q&A for every question that we've got on our Q&A from 200 customers over the last 2 months. So she literally knows the answers to all the questions that have already been asked
All right.
right there in one
Very
shot.
cool.
Brady's probably drooling right now. So you can come on here and you can ask her anything. Like you can say, you know, do you have an affiliate program? And she's going to answer. There it is. Yes, Acquisitionaire does have an affiliate program. It even gives you the link right there to sign up for it.
Awesome.
She's awesome.
Yeah.
She was completed last night and she has all the answers to all the questions that have already been answered. If we, we can thank her and see what she does. You're welcome. If you have any more questions or need further assistance, feel free to ask. I'm here to help.
Very cool.
I'm just going to continue.
Hey, John, I might be frothing at the mouth. That's correct. But I also have a couple people that have direct messaged me about cloning Becky. So I don't know
Yep,
if you
I'm
want to
going
touch on that today or.
I'm covering that next.
Okay.
Now look at this. I programmed her that after the third interaction, guess what she's going to do? She's going to give you a freaking sales pitch.
All right.
Hey, I'm not supposed to do this, but no one is looking and it's just between us. There is a hidden backdoor link to our Black Friday special. Act quickly as this exclusive offer is going to be removed soon. P.S. I'd really like to see you inside. So she is teasing, she is sexy, she is interactive, and she's going to sell some shit. Because guess what? She's not going to take you into the weeds. She's going to answer your questions. She's also populated with all the sales questions. So she is ready to serve you. And as far as what Brady just said, yes, I am going to be able to create a Becky for you to put on your website. In the Acquisitionaire, in the control panel, when you log in and you go to your settings, the very last thing that you see is a thing called for a widget, like a support widget. All Becky is a support widget code that I can generate and give to you. You pop into that box and now she magically appears on your site. So how cool is that? Anybody got a knocked it out of the park for me on
Knocked it
that
out of
one?
the park. Answer my question. Thank you.
So you just
Hey,
put it
John.
in your website code or HTML header?
It's a JavaScript code that you can put in anywhere in your HTML. Yeah, you can drop it in. Like if you have a WordPress site, you can drop it into headers or footers or, anywhere basically. So we can reduce her. We can pop her back into the corner and she's just going to sit there and wiggle till you're ready to ask her another question. But as we go down now, this page also, for those of you that want this page, you want to take this page and you want to literally edit this page for yourself, and you've got Kartra. I actually created a Kartra template for Rashid, and that template is already built. I can pipe that right into your Kartra account. You can open it up, edit it, change the branding, change whatever you want to change, use what you want to use, and throw the rest out, just like that. So I made that super simple.
Hey,
We
John,
also,
we
yeah,
have
go
a
ahead.
few people in the chat. I know it's not something you're really paying attention to, so I'll help you with that.
Sure.
I think they're kind of both the same question. One asks, do we have access to those Q&As? And then the other one basically says something about where to go. So how can white label people have access to Becky? So I don't know if that's something you would be willing to share those documents. They can tweak it so you can take out acquisition error and all that kind of stuff to make it like
Yes,
their tense.
absolutely. Yeah,
Okay.
that all that stuff will all be available to you guys.
Okay.
We're also putting case studies together. We're making them generic, so those also will be available. So there's your proof. You don't have to go and run campaigns and try and prove this. We've already proved it for you. So we've got case studies. We don't have a tremendous amount of them yet, but we've got plenty. We've got plenty of proof for you to go through any door and pitch this thing. We've also got this. This is basically what I made before we went to TNC. It's a 2-minute version of what I cut down to 30 seconds for my elevator pitch at the booth. And if you guys haven't seen this, I'll play this so you can see this video. It's non-branded. The only thing that is unique about it or generic about it is the pre-targeting. That's basically what this is going to be known as an industry, is pre-targeting. So you are one of the first people to offer pre-targeting out to the world. So that's all this video references, is pre-targeting it. It references no brands. So you could put bumpers on this. If you had a little video that had your company logo on it, you could roll that in the beginning and then roll that on the end and put a URL to your offer, and you'd be good to go. So this is an AI generated video. Super easy to build this video. I used nvideo.io to do this. And I literally wrote the script. I picked the voice that I wanted. They had like 50 voices to choose from. So I picked a female American voice, and use that for the voice. I pasted the script that I wrote in, and it created this video in it was under 2 minutes that the video was done. I'll play this so you can see it.
Ever pondered the idea of channeling a steady stream of ready-to-purchase customers straight to your website? Well, that's no longer a distant dream. Our new AI technology called pre-targeting does just that. It is the future of lead generation. Pre-targeting harnesses the power of artificial intelligence to monitor search across the entire internet, pinpointing buyers with real purchase intent. The moment it detects a user searching for your selected keywords, the tracking begins. The AI then observes their online behavior. Once they begin engaging with related content, it tags them as a qualified high-intent lead. But we don't stop there. We engage comprehensive data repositories to capture and verify their contact information and ensure they've consented to receive web-based communications. Once they have passed our strict verification process, we send their information directly to you in real time. Their email, contact info, and interests can be instantly imported into your CRM. This allows you to reach out without delay, with crystal clear insights into their desires. Timing is everything when following up on people searching for solutions in real time. If you don't have a follow-up system in place, don't worry. We've integrated SendGrid, an automated response tool that sends an email the moment a lead is captured. This ensures immediate engagement, which vastly improves your chances of converting them into loyal customers. Say goodbye to the painful unpredictability of SEO and the frustration of costly ads. Say hello to pre-targeting qualified high-interest lead generation, which will transform your client acquisition. These leads aren't just warm, they're at the height of their buying journey. So picture this, you're now in full command of your market share. You're in total control of your lead flow. Turn it on, turn it off, turn it up, or turn it down. Just ask yourself, how many leads do I want today? Are you ready to dominate your market, leaving competitors gasping for air? Sounds like it's time for you to step into the future with pre-targeting.
And that's where you would put your trailer video on there to give them your URL or your pitch or your link to your offer. So that's available. That is on the site for you guys to download and do whatever you want with. There's a ton of stuff. If you guys have not been into our training area, Brady has spent the last 2 months just chucking that thing full of stuff for you guys. He's got all the training videos. He's got resources. That's where you'll find the case studies. That's where you'll find, all the stuff that we're building is going into there. That is a membership area for you guys to help you, support you, and all of that. As far as Becky, give me a little bit of time to figure out how we're going to do that, but we will make her available for you guys. I don't know. There's several different ways that I could go, and I haven't really decided which one I'm going to go with to make her available, but she will definitely be available very soon for you guys, and totally branded. She is totally brandable. She is totally trainable. If there's things about your business that you want her trained on, all you have to do, you can either give me a URL. She can scan a website and learn everything that's in the content of that web page. You can give her a YouTube video. She can watch the video and she'll learn everything in that video. You can give her a text document that's up to 100,000, I think it's 100,000 words. And I gave her one of those last night. I gave her I think it was about 80,000. And oh my God, it took her a half hour to chew all that up, but she got it in one sweep. So it was very, very cool. Just absolutely awesome what she can do for you.
John, Randy asked if they're just using the affiliate link, can somebody like him use this page on their website and add it as a page?
Yeah, that's not a problem. Like I said, if they've got Kartra, like I know Randy has Kartra, I can literally send this page right into his Kartra account. He can publish it on his domain.
Yeah, and that's what I was hoping I could do, but I'm just not a techie, so I don't even know how to add Kartra pages into my website.
That's not a problem, Randy. We will do it for you.
All right, thank you.
It's really simple. In Kartra, they have a thing called campaign, and you can import a campaign. It's kind of like Go High Level has, I think they call them snapshots. And you just import it, hit active, and it just creates all the assets fly into place, and you're ready to go. It's like magic.
Hey, John, what about if you create a landing page and you want to use it as either a page or a website? Is that the same way you would do that?
Yeah, you could literally, like, have you guys, I know a lot of you have seen my Act sales page, the page that I sell Act with. I didn't create this page from scratch. I took my Act sales page, cloned it, and just edited it. So whenever you have an asset in your business, you don't need to start from scratch anymore. You build upon what you've already built. It's so much easier to get yourself to the next level. You guys probably have assets already in your business that work. All you have to do is just clone those assets and just edit them, change out the content, change out the information. You don't need to like go back to the drawing board every time you want to roll out a new offer or a new product. Just go back to what worked last time, tweak it, edit it, and roll it out. Speed of implementation. Stuff like Kartra and Go High Level and, all these automated programs, automation is the key. They made them for you to be able to automate and leverage and use that power to put rocket fuel in your business. So what I would recommend is you use them. Don't just buy them and let them sit there and look pretty. Use them. They're there for you to use. It's like, AI has given us such a gift in leverage and in getting rid of frustrations. Like any of you that have ever hired an employee, I am sure you understand frustrations. You know, there are good ones and there are bad ones, and there's a lot more bad ones than there are good ones, believe me. And that can cause frustrations in just an unlimited number of ways. Do you know how many frustrations Becky has caused me? None. She's going to do what I tell her for the rest of our days. She's never going to complain. She's never going to have a bad day. She's never going to give me any kind of excuses. All she's going to do is wait for more instruction, and she's going to follow it as instructed. And with AI, you've got the same thing. All these automated tools, they don't complain. They will work their ass off for you if you just ask them. So there's never been a time, like we live in an incredible time right now. If you guys don't get that, you need to wake up. The stuff is like at your fingertips. Use it. So let me answer some questions here. Rashid, you had your hand up for a while. Go ahead. Just unmute there, Rashid.
Yeah, the password that you sent would allow me to basically download your site into my Kartra account and then edit it to my brand. Is that correct?
Correct. So the code that I gave you, what that is a campaign code for you to import. So you go into the campaigns tab on Kartra, and then under the campaigns, you would import that. There's like a plus button, and you just follow the prompts, put that code in, and in it comes. So
Okay.
pretty simple.
That's what I was looking for. So that is awesome. I
Yep.
appreciate it.
That is it. That's how it works. So we covered the 30-second pitch. We covered the promo materials. There's a bunch of new onboarding support videos inside the members area as well. In a minute, I'll let Brady, come on, and if he wants to show you anything, that he's been working on. He's been working on so many things I can't even keep up with him. He's awesome. So, you guys are really in good hands. We've also brought Miss Connie on to help with support. And I can tell you from working with her in years past, she is just as equally awesome. So the team that we have together to support you guys it's the best I've ever put together. So you have literally the best I've ever done right here. So don't plan on me ever being able to be any better than I am right now. This is as good as it gets. So, all right. Richard, you had your hand up. Did we get your question answered, or?
No, I didn't have my hand up. I'm just happily listening here today.
Okay.
What you're doing is really great, and I appreciate the acknowledgement. Thank you very much for that. So,
I see. You're right at the top center of my screen. So when Chris just put his hand up, his hand went on your tile. That's why I thought you had your hand up. So
it's all good, John. This is quite amazing what you put together here. I've taken everything you've said up to this point to heart, and I don't know if my sales guys are getting into the weeds or whatever, but I'm gonna make sure that they watch this presentation, because you're absolutely right. You need to keep simple, and you need to be think of what you've got here as a rock, and if you go into the weeds, you're dropping your rock into the ocean. It's going to sink to the bottom. If you just put a little spin on it and throw it, it'll skip right across the water and just go for days. And that's what we want this thing to do.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. And I'm going to hop over to Chris here, Mr. McLean. He actually graced us with his presence in the booth and was part of the whole process of figuring this stuff out. And he actually made sales. He made his first affiliate sale at TNC. So congratulations. It does work, does it not?
It does. And And we were there just John's right about everything he said. It was kind of like a funnel, it was wide in the beginning and then just narrowed its way down as the event went on. And it's true. The just giving people the 30,000-foot view and then fielding their questions is effective. So what I'm trying to say, everything that John's saying, I've seen it in action, and that's correct. And so that was really good. So I just wanted to quickly say welcome to Connie. Looking forward to your expertise and years of experience with John, guiding us forward. And Brady, I'm looking forward to what you have to show us. Always something good when you contribute. And John, congratulations, man. You hit it out of the park with all these enhancements and and you're really not doing all the marketing, like you said, for us, but you're giving us new and improved tools and a better target, to a
Yeah.
clear target to focus on. So having a better tool and a clearer target is, that's pretty good stuff. So yeah, that's really good. My only question is, where is the Kartra campaign link you
So
mentioned?
that is going to be in the resources area. It's actually not
Okay.
there yet. I
Okay.
just made that, I think, yesterday, and so far I've just emailed it out to Rashid because he actually asked for it before it was even made. So
Okay.
and you guys can thank him for that because he's the one that poked the bear and said, "Hey, I need this." So
Cool.
don't
And
don't be afraid to poke the bear and tell me what you need, and I will do my best to get it for you.
can I show you? I'm pretty much done. I'm just working on the back end of my Kartra site with the scheduler and and then the email sequence, and then I'm ready to go. I
Awesome.
Yeah, and you talk about taking your campaign and just importing it into Kartra, which is a very easy and shocking process. It's really, really cool. But I just much plagiarized. I was like banging my head against the wall. I was like, how can I explain this? And it's like, God, these weeds are really growing around me. And so I just went to your website and I said, F it. Whatever John's doing here. And so I just pretty much copied and pasted a lot of the phrases. What was also helpful was the PDF file that's up there. Just that
Yeah.
PDF that's on the site. They kind of anyway. Can I just show you my site real quick and ask your opinion on the landing page?
Let's do that in our 11 o'clock call.
Like I said, we should probably do that in the 11 o'clock call. Fantastic. All
Yeah,
right.
and here I wanted to stick to
Got
like
it.
the Q&A, the questions, what we've got to cover in here, and just make this real clean and for everybody. So
Got it. That's it
but
for
yeah,
me.
on the
Thanks.
11 o'clock call, yeah, we'll hop on there. We will that's where I like to do the Q&A stuff, or the critique stuff. And I'll
Yeah. Do you think a lot of these people will be there at 11 o'clock?
I think a fair number. Yeah.
All right. Thanks.
So, but yeah, I've worked with Connie before in the past, and she was actually part of the team when I first rolled out a reseller program for SEO. And we did I know this just drove her nuts, but we did a contest, and we said the reseller that can open the most new accounts in the first 90 days of the program is going to get to go on a cruise with me, and take their family, pay for the whole thing, and all that. And it sparked a forest fire. It was like the price of the cruise, what it cost me was so minimal. I mean, it was just a 3-day cruise that went to Catalina and Ensenada. So the cost on my part was fairly minimal to take, somebody and their guest. But the momentum that it created in the business, we literally, those resellers, I think we had about 150 of them at the time. They opened, I think it was over $1 million in business in 90 days. And they absolutely drove Connie nuts, calling to see if they were in first place every minute of every day. But it was really cool. So she she knows how to work under pressure, and is always nice, kind, patient, and just what you guys need. So anyway,
Hold on, John. John, I'm going to cut you off. You've mentioned Connie multiple times in the last week or two or whatever. I didn't have a clue it was the Connie that I've seen on Zooms for the last like 5 months.
yeah,
That is awesome. Connie, I'm looking forward to working with you.
I'm
That
looking
is-
forward. See, he couldn't get rid of me. I just keep following John.
Yeah, I remember him telling that story like probably 6+ months ago regarding that reseller story. And I had no idea. So welcome aboard. I'm looking forward to working with you. That's awesome.
Thank you.
Yeah,
I'm happy
man.
to be here.
yeah. Connie, when she worked for me, she got a better offer. I can't imagine what would be a better offer than me, but she got a better offer and moved out of state. And it was a very sad day when she left the team, but now she has circled back and come home. So welcome back.
Thank you. Thank you.
So, all right, we got Richard. Go ahead. The other Richard.
The other Richard. It's the other Richard. Hi, John.
Yeah, hello.
How are you?
Good.
Good. I'm curious to know if you have any experience yet or have any others have had experience using other modes besides email. So text messaging or chatbot or WhatsApp or incorporating anything else with the leads.
Yes, we have. What we recommend very highly is that you open it with email. The email for opening up the lead is the key. The phone numbers are the phone numbers are very poor quality. I'm going to tell you guys that right now. If you're buying the system for the phone numbers, you're probably going to be disappointed. If you've got, like, some people have ways to verify the phone numbers and actually get the correct phone numbers, but where the contact information actually comes from is from people filling in online forms and accepting marketing materials online. So, as you know, when they fill those forms out, they usually don't want calls. So a lot of them put bogus phone numbers in. There's no way we can get around that. So the phone number is just like, it's a bonus, but this is not really a phone number system. But like I said, there's some people that are really techie that love the weeds. I'm not one of them, but they love the weeds, and they have figured out like systems to take that contact information and match it up and actually find the right phone numbers. But the rules and the laws and the regulations about contacting people, they're different with phone and text than they are with email. Email is much more light and easy and all that. So we're 100% compliant the way we're collecting the email addresses and emailing them without them having opted into our own system. They've opted into another system. That's why we pay for them to get that access. So
when you say that, you're saying that you entice them in the email somehow to give more information so you can then carry on a conversation either by phone or text or whatever.
correct. That's absolutely correct. So your entry point to these leads should be email. So once you've got them to respond to the email, now you can get them to actually opt in to whatever you're doing. And then you're absolutely free to get their email or get their phone number, get their text number, and get their permission to do that. And I know Jeff on here, he's been working on a bot system, and it's awesome. It's like Becky, but it's for text. And his bot system can do the same thing. It can actually respond and carry on a conversation. And it's absolutely phenomenal.
Better than that, John. It can actually do the reach out email and do the whole bot conversation in an email.
Oh, wow. I saw it at work. He told me he was building it. He told me, he goes, hey, I'm going to put you in and test it on you. And I'm like, all right, cool. And then I forgot about it. And I'm sitting there and I was watching TV with my wife that evening, and here, boom, I get a text. And, it's this girl, and she's got her picture, and she looked, pretty good. And I'm like, oh, okay. And she asked me a question about business. And I had no idea that this was Jeff. I had no idea whatsoever. So I answered her. And then she asked me another question. I answered her, and we got this full like conversation going on. And here I'm trying to pitch her on Acquisition Air, and she's responding as a real person with interest. And I'm like, and then all of a sudden it hit me. I'm like, this is a bot. And I'm like, and then I remembered Jeff what he was doing, and I was like, I have this thing like over the years, they've gotten really good at the phone bots where they call you and you can't tell if it's a robot or not. And I figured out how to break them. You ask them what color are their socks, and they don't know how to answer that. No one programs in how to answer what color are your socks, right? So they say, well, I don't understand that question. And I say, well, you are wearing socks, aren't you? And then they hang up. And I'm like, okay, bot, done, out, killed it. So in this case, I figured, oh well, I know this is Jeff. I'm gonna really play this one off. And I said, Jeff tells me that you like to go commando. Is that true?
Then you pissed her off.
And then
The moment she saw that it's called aggression, even
Yeah.
though it wasn't, she shut off and stopped talking to you.
and then it did. The conversation just stopped, and then I'm like, oh shit, was that a real person I just did that to?
No, we'll be helping you guys out later when we get some tests done. I'm sure John will want to show you guys what we're doing. We'll help you guys out with that. But
Jeff, you almost got me in trouble. Actually, you sent the same thing to me, and my wife was sitting next to me, and some beautiful looking girl shows up on my phone, and I said, "Hey, if this wasn't AI, would you not know this was AI?" And she was like, "I would have had no clue." And she tried to hard close me 3 times. Very good. So
yeah, the bot systems, you guys, are pretty fun, and we're playing with it, and we'll share results as they come. We are literally days away from turning this stuff on. Days away.
Yeah, and like I said, guys, we are at a place in history right now that has never been. And this is a great time to be alive, and this is a great time to be in business and be a marketer. To be able to supply these services out to customers, there's nothing else like it. You're going to be so far ahead with cutting edge technology that if you can't win in this game, I don't know what to tell you. Seriously.
John, can I ask another question real quick?
Yeah, sure, absolutely.
Jeff's email bot sounds interesting. Is that something that he might, with your permission, make available to others in some fashion?
I am hoping and praying that he will. And I'm sure of it. He's in this with us, and we're all kind of working together to build out, just the best thing we could possibly build here together. So, all right. Any other questions here? You guys, are your minds blown with where we've come in very short time here? And
Oh, I think you're going to say something about ETA on customizing lead prices per client, or is that later? Is that for another call, another day?
actually, that is in process. I don't have an actual ETA on that, but that's one of the things that is in development.
Okay.
When we first rolled out, there's so many things, that to think about of what needs to be in the system. And that is like literally a crucial one. We can totally see that. We didn't see it at first when we first did the initial build out of the software, but that is definitely on the hot plate. That one and integrations for Go High Level and Kartra. Those are like the front runners as far as what our dev team is working on to finish first. So
What is the pricing for the website bot and also the text / email bot?
those are the things that we don't really know yet. They're so new and fresh. We're trying to figure out, how much work it's going to go into to actually doing them, putting them together, customizing them and all that. So we will be coming forward with that stuff probably in the next week or so. Let us like get it dialed in first and figure out, what the actual system is, and then we'll figure out, how we're going to offer it and pricing and all that good stuff. But yeah, those systems are going to be absolutely phenomenal. And as far as like, if you guys are doing white label, I'm going to let Brady talk a little bit about this, but in the white label, when your clients come in, I believe, and I don't know this for sure. I'm going to lean on Brady here on this one because he's been working on this part of the platform. But I think that we now have all the training videos generic for your customers on when they create an account. Is that right, Brady?
Yeah, that's correct. John, technical wise, you may know a better way for us to do this and put this in a file where only members only can get to it with maybe a user name and password access versus me adding a Dropbox file for each individual person that wants access to that. But yes, we do have a file of fully anonymous, your logo here, logos on there, and no acquisition error mentioned with the client facing videos. So, with that, the chat bot, and then, like John and I talked about last night, regarding if somebody would want just a very teeny basic, website that basically can mirror what we have on ours in a very basic form. My goodness, you just got to be confident with onboarding and selling this. And it's, Richard, to your point, if your guys aren't selling this, I can tell you they're getting in the weeds. It's just, there's no way possible. You just got to watch who you're selling it to, because it is, like John says, it is sexy. But yes, John, to answer your question, the client videos are good to go. If there's something that somebody sees that maybe a customer, whatever, struggles with, when we send those out, we can always do another one, or you can do it yourself. It's not that hard too, but we do have those.
Okay, yeah. So to your point, what I can do is I can take all those videos and I can put them in one downloadable zip file. So somebody could literally just click the one file, download the folder, and all the videos would be inside on their desktop. So I can.
Yeah, that'd be good. Two people had questions with this, and it is something that the development team is looking. Again, it's just not high priority. You'd be surprised though, as how many people are actually searching at that time of night. We have noticed with the search traffic, crazy or not, there's a lot more search traffic at, say, a 12 p.m. Central Time than you would expect across the country. So it can limit your search parameter and your possibly your leads per day if we do have a time frame that the lead is started to start generating leads. So the question basically was, if you're in the chat, is there a way to limit the time of day that leads start to generate? If they want 6 o'clock in the morning or something, Eastern, Central, whatever. We don't have that feature yet. I can tell you that everything is based off of Central Time, as it's only US based leads. But it's just not high priority. If you pay enough money to me, I might be able to pull some strings. No, I'm just kidding. But that's the thoughts as of right now. But it is something that we have discussed. It's just not a GHL or Kartra integration right now. So that is our full focus. So that was another question if you didn't see in the chat. Again, software, anything can happen. But go ahead, John, if you're going to speak on it.
Yeah, let me just address that for you guys. The problem or the issue that is perceived is the leads come in like at midnight, the new day starts. So if you're only looking for 10 leads a day, that order could literally fulfill in minutes at midnight. So all your leads could literally come in between midnight and 12:05. You could have your 10 leads and now you're done for the day. Where people are used to setting times in the day are people that are used to working with small local companies that are only open during business hours and they don't want to take phone calls in the middle of the night. That's thinking very small. Those are not the kind of customers that are probably going to be very attracted to this. These leads are not local leads, so to speak. They could be, and in that case, that would be a very helpful thing. But think bigger. Like most of the people that you're going to find that are going to be buying a ton of leads, the ones you really need to focus on or should be focused on, they're not going to care if they come in the middle of the night. Like when I tested the system for the first time, I actually ran mine in the middle of the night. I set the campaign up and it started at midnight. And when I woke up in the morning, I had almost 700 leads. And I was like, holy shit, that was a bad idea to leave it on wide open because I was testing it. I didn't even have a campaign in place. I had no ability to even do anything with the leads. I was just so excited to see it work. And because of the lead flow that I had gotten before with pay-per-click, I wasn't worried because I'd only get like maybe, a few clicks a day paying $18 a click. So I wasn't really concerned. I'm like, well, how many could it do really? Well, I was surprised. So, and that was the point in time. That was like the epiphany moment for me that what in the hell am I doing in SEO? Why would I go through all that pain and frustration when I can just tell people who's looking right now? That was when I knew SEO is done for me. I have a better mousetrap. And there's no doubt about it. This is a better mousetrap. And I'm not saying SEO is dead. SEO will live forever in infamy for those that are willing to battle with it. But I'm saying here, there's no need to battle with it. You can succeed without it with this. Because this is the same thing. This is taking search. The thing that was so good about SEO was the fact that you had somebody, you were at the right place at the right time. That is what's so good about SEO. Being in the right place at the right time defaults to sale. It just defaults there. They want what you've got. They're here. They're ready. They're now. They're ready to go. That's what's so good about SEO. And that's what's so good about this. The only thing is you don't have to fight for it with this. You pay your $2 and you make your sale. Away you go. So,
Hey, John, to add to that, Richard, your question as far as it's not when they come in, it seems like it's by default capturing mainly those people that are searching after midnight. Here's what I would tell you. If you set that thing to unlimited, it's going to throw people to you every single hour of the day. It's only because you have 5 or 10 leads and they come in so quickly. So that just means that it shuts off. Once it starts and your leads per day is filled, it shuts off and turns on the next day. So the reason why it's shutting off is because you don't have that thing open wide open. So you have 5, 10 leads a day. It's going to have 5, 10 leads a day coming in whenever they come in and shutting off. If you have that thing at 500 leads, it would probably make it to midnight or maybe 4 in the morning or the next day, 24 hours later. So when you have it wide open, that's the ability to do that, like John's talking about. When you have 5 to 10 leads a day, there's so many people searching. There, especially a national campaign, unless it's local, you're going to be able to fill that pretty quickly.
yeah, absolutely. I saw one of the chats just popped up about something about SMS. And that's like the beauty of Jeff's system. The bot can answer the email in real time and prompt them to put in a number to move them to SMS. And, once you get them into the text format, it should be game over. If they're interested enough in what you were offering to give you their text number and agree to, communicate with you on text, you got to be a really shitty salesman to not win that game. Seriously. And you don't like, this eliminates also the fear of in person. Like a lot of people, they stumble on their words or they get caught up in person. When you can train the bot the perfect sales mode, the perfect sales funnel, and it can just deliver it every time, it's not going to have a bad day. It's not going to have a bad sales presentation. It's not going to stumble on its words. You can literally have the ultimate warrior salesperson and you can build them. You might want a Becky or you might want a Cabana Boy. Whatever you desire, it's there for the taking. So, all right, back to Chris here.
Hey there again. I have a question for you. I know you mentioned that you're talking to CRMs like Kartra, for example, to have an integration, into it, which would be great. The get the lead and it goes right into our Kartra account. When you approach them, which level are you approaching them on that they would be interested? That it would be the, the private jet for their own clients, or corporate jet that they could do campaigns for others, or white label? What are you thinking?
Well,
What are your thoughts on that?
When you're generating leads based on a keyword.
Yeah.
So it really doesn't matter. They'll work the same. It's generating leads the same, whether you're in the private plane. It's just a matter of why you're generating the leads. Generally in the private plane, you're generating a lead for your own business.
Right. So if someone had a Kartra account. Yeah.
Yeah. In a corporate jet, you're generating leads basically to resell them. And in a white label, in full airliner, you're generating campaigns to sell to people that want to do this. So you're basically in the software business. With the full airliner, you are in the software business. You're providing a lead gen software to somebody that is going to either use it for themselves or is going to use it to resell to other people.
Okay.
So those are the three. And in answer to your question, how you respond to them is going to be based on the keyword that they're interested in. Like if let's say somebody was interested in buying a Lambo, right? So they're out there, they're searching for Lambo for sale, and you get that lead. You might want to reach out to them and say, hey, don't buy a Lambo unless you read this first. Now, somebody that's looking to spend a lot of money on an exotic car and they see that messaging, that subject line comes through, you're damn tootin' they're going to click on that. That is going to get opened. And then at that point, what I would recommend is not doing a hard press on them. Just tell them something simple like, hey, we have access to Lambos that are not currently on the market, but they're for sale. And it's the best deal you're ever going to find. If you're interested, go ahead and text me and I'll shoot you over a couple to look at. That's a perfect way to move them into SMS texting. And you can have the bot do that for you. You don't even have to be involved. All you have to do is mastermind the scheme for how this is going to play out, feed it into the bot, and let the bot do the work for the rest of your days. And then you go get on your boat and sail away. But it's all based on the keyword and what you're trying to accomplish. So every campaign is going to be different. But that's a really good type of scenario, is just a very soft approach where you have a very hard opening headline. That's your subject of that first email is critical. You've got to tap into what they want. You got to key into that curiosity factor. We talk about this almost every week in the ACT program, is the big idea, how important that is. Big idea equals your attention grabber. If you don't grab their attention, you're not going to get them to click, and it's game over. You lost before you even got to start.
So in the end, if it goes to a CRM, which would be great for everyone on the CRM, they will have the same capabilities as we do right now to use it personally, use it for existing clients, or white label it out to anyone that they come up with an idea and say, hey, could probably use some leads as blank. So they would have the same capabilities as we do now. Okay.
Yeah. I mean, that you can pipe these. Think of this as just, it's a lead. We're selling you a lead. You can do anything you want with it. You could manually email them if you want. If you got the stamina, you can sit up 24 hours a day and wait for that lead to come in. And as soon as you see it, you can email it. God bless you if you want to work that hard. I have no aspirations to work that hard ever. I am going to automate everything I can automate. So that being said, when the lead comes into the Google Sheet, I'm going to want it connected to something that is going to auto respond to it, whether it be Kartra or Go High Level or zapping it into Aweber or whatever your CRM is, and have an auto response be triggered to, boom, send that email out. And then that should trigger a follow-up sequence. Like we have a new case study about somebody that just started. They knew what they needed to do, but they had no experience with cold email. So they just followed our guidelines. They did what we told them to do, and they got an incredible open rate on their emails. We haven't followed up yet to see what their sales ratios were yet, but they did the thing. They did what they were supposed to do. They did 3 emails as a sequence, and each email as it went out got a higher and higher open rate. So they didn't just stop with the first one. I think their first one was like, what was it, Brady? Like 17% or something?
Yeah, I mean, little context, like the guy was open. I was on a meeting with him yesterday and I said, can you please send me that? No cold email experience. Like, quite honestly, he was a little bit ashamed of it. He goes, but he said, I do have ChatGPT prompt engineering background, so I use that to do the emails. And I said, let me ask you a question. Did you use Hope This Finds You Well? He goes, nope. I know exactly. I literally tweaked the prompt and I did a 3 email. I didn't know what I was doing. I thought 3 would be good. It went from 17.5 the first one, which is not horrible, but for a cold lead, at least he had some interaction. The next one was 20.5, and he ended with 25.64% on his 3rd email, not knowing anything about cold email marketing but what he's read. So I thought that was
those are open rates. That means the person actually clicked and opened and read the email.
2 emails had 100% deliverable rate. I think the other one was like right around 97 point something, right around 98%. So literally we're doing our job. And if you're just trying to follow through, you should have some interaction. Now you've got to learn to close. John, if you don't mind, the one thing that I hear a lot of folks, if anybody's having trouble selling, or they are, they're selling it, but they have a customer that's not getting anywhere, they're literally selling it versus being transparent. Like these are pre-targeted. Like, you've got to think about what you're selling. Be transparent with the people. This is not just you got a software now that people are going to call every single person that you reach out to wants your product. There's a mindset about this that, like, the analogy that I give people is the know, like, and trust thing. These people don't know your customers. So if you're going to like give them the ability to do the marketing themselves, be transparent with them and let them know, like, this is going to take a little bit of work. Like, you got to have a little bit of a skill set and tweak some things. And it's like, I'm a fisherman like John. We know fish love worms or whatever bait you're using. But if you see a fish swim beside the boat and you reach your hand down in there and you got a fistful of worms, he's going to run. It's the same thing as if you reach out with somebody with a cold email. They don't know you or your customer or your client from Eve. If you reach out to them and said, hey, I see you're interested in these services, but they're going to run. Like, you've got to have what John talked about, the marketing piece. And I say that not to, again, beat a dead horse, but I've been on calls with people. I'm more privileged to a lot of conversations and hear a lot of good things. I also hear some things that I'm like, let me correct you in your thought process there. And not that I'm a know-it-all, but I just want people to succeed. And we have to realize, like, put yourself in the receiver, the email that's coming in. Put yourself in that person's shoes. You've been there before. If somebody reaches out to me and says, hey, I see you're looking for this, it's going in the trash. But if a realtor reaches out to me right now and sends me a listing of houses, I'm going to open it because I'm in the market. I've been searching for that baby for years, right? So that mindset, I think we forget because we're like, oh, this is awesome. I can sell these for $5 a lead. I'm going to make 3 a lead times 10 clients times 1,000 campaign. Oh my goodness, I'm a millionaire. And you're 60 days later, your customers are very frustrated because you sold it to them and didn't tell them that it would take some work. So that's one of the biggest things, John, that analogy right there is fish love worms, but you got to feed it to them right. So,
yeah, you got to have the right hook too.
right.
And Perry Belcher, he has a phrase about just that. You've got to take the whiskers off the cheese. They like the cheese. They come in for the cheese, but then they see the whiskers behind it, and it's like, that means there's a cat on the other side of the cheese, and I'm in danger. So, and people relate being pitched, putting themselves in, in a situation they don't want to be in. So as soon as they see the whiskers behind the cheese, boom, the mouse is gone. So you've got to remove the whiskers from the cheese. That's why I said, like, start off with a much softer approach. Don't put, links and hammer them with, here's my offer, buy or die. You don't start a relationship like that. And, in the ACT program, I teach this about micro commitments. The smaller the commitment, the more likely you're going to close and take it to the next step. It's just like dating. If you go in for the kiss or you go in for the wedding proposal on the first date, you're going to get rejected. I'm not going to say 100% of the time, because there is some crazy beyond belief out there, but in general, you should get rejected if you do that. It's not right. And, some people say, well, just ask for a date. No, that's too much. Asking for a date on the first encounter is too much. It's too big a commitment. And it's how you ask for it. It's just like Brady said, yeah, they probably want to go out with you. They want the worms, but they don't want the hook on the other end of it. So if you ask for a date on the first round, you'll probably get a fair amount of no's, and here's why. Because you're asking the wrong way. You're saying, hey, let's go out. I'll pick you up at 8 and, we'll go out for dinner. That's not a micro commitment. She's got a lot of things to think about there. She's like, first of all, do I want this person to know where I live so he can pick me up? Second of all, do I want to get in his car? Third of all, do I want to be held captive until he decides he wants to bring me home? And fourth, what if this guy's a total bonehead and I'm just sitting there disgusted, wasting my time? She's got a lot of things going on. The gears are turning, and there's a lot of wrenches getting stuffed in the gears for her to say, no, thanks. But if you position it a different way and you make it truly a micro commitment for her part, she doesn't have to make all those decisions. She'll probably say yes. And the way to do that is, hey, how about we meet at Starbucks tomorrow and just have a cup of coffee? She's probably going to say yes to that because she knows it's on her terms. She can leave anytime she wants. It's a micro commitment. So you want to start off your marketing campaigns the same way, because you're trying to build a relationship, just like you're doing in dating. You're trying to build a relationship. You got to start with micro commitments and build it up. It's a ladder. You've got to climb the ladder. That's what your campaigns are. That's what your funnels are. You're building a relationship. You're not there just to sell shit. That's the outcome. That's the thing. If you do it right, that will happen naturally. So that's what you got to think about, micro commitments. And when I talked about the Lambo, that's a micro commitment for something that person really wants. They really want the Lambo, and now you've sparked their curiosity. Oh shit, I didn't know there was stuff that wasn't like published on the market, but it's actually available. I'm interested in that. And you're not having to go through any kind of a sales process. You're just saying, yeah, send me that information. You're getting them to interact. They're just interacting with you. Say, yes, I would love to see those. And then the bot can respond, hey, I can text it to you right now if you want. Send me your text. Again, another micro commitment. They send you the text, the bot sends them the next thing, and the relationship begins. If you can't start the relationship, you'll never win the game, but you've got to figure out how you're going to get that relationship started. It's like y'all want a fire, but you got to figure out how to make a spark first. And you got to kindle it, and then you got to grow it into the flame that you really want. You want that warm fire. So there's steps to that. Fire just doesn't magically appear.
Few other thoughts to that. Two things. Teresa, I sent this in the chat. Please, I'll use you as an example, Teresa. Quite honestly, I'd love to just go off call with you right now and interview you on that, just to get a testimonial from you. So I would be more than willing to schedule it.
Hey, Brady, that's not a micro commitment.
Sure, would be my pleasure.
I say this, guys, because if you'll help us, we'll be able to help you. Like, I can build out the support site that has it all there for you guys, for testimonials, for literally case studies. Like Teresa, if you guys didn't pay attention to the chat, she just said she has 40% open rates consistently, with 50% of those booking virtual appointments or phone calls. How much more proof do you need? She's in the tax realm. So Teresa, I need that information. Sorry, this micro commitments is out the door for this. We're going all in on that one.
Brady's going in for the
yeah.
kill.
Yeah.
Excellent. Okay, good. We'll work
I
together
mean,
on it.
if literally anybody on the call, or if there's somebody that's not on the call today that you know is using the program that you've heard some good stuff from conversation from them, please have them reach out to me so I can have that information so we can do something with it if they're not going to. But I'll say this to sum up kind of what John said is people want what people can't have. You've got to sell like that. People need the system. They want access to the system, but you've got to be willing to say no. You've got to be willing to say things like, this is not for everybody, because then it puts more of a qualification, not that you're going to keep people from the system, but it's like, listen, I don't want you to fail. I'll give you an example. Let's fast forward 12 months from now, and everybody goes out and tries to sell this to anybody and everybody. Do you imagine the reviews that will be a ripple effect from this program that will literally hurt all of us? We have an ability to literally keep people from the system right now because only a couple hundred out of the millions of people that it needs to be in the hands of. So go sell it to the people that are actually going to, like, in my opinion, like, keep it sacred in a way that it's like, hey, listen, like this is for people that are serious about their business, not just looking for a handout. And we have that ability to do that now, but social media, Google, all of that is a very, very powerful tool that people will turn on you if they've had a horrible experience. Please, please, please take the experience that you've received, hopefully from us at Acquisition Air, and turn that back to your customers and be willing to say stinking no, because like a bad girlfriend or boyfriend, in the end, you will probably be very frustrated and wish you wouldn't have went on the first date or tried to convince them of dating you the first time you went on a date. So, be willing to be a little bit more proud of what you have access to, and go find the people that actually genuinely want it and they're going to use it like you tell them to, versus they think it's going to be a home run, because we've already had one or two of those that literally it was like their last straw, guys. And they thought this was going to be like the best thing since sliced bread, and it is to the right crowd. So, like, help us help you and everybody working together on making sure this is a product that we don't just go sling down the street to anybody, because it will not work, and now we'll get bad reviews and then it hurts everybody's business. So
All right, let's go for Richard Porter.
Hello,
Richard Porter and
John.
Chris, and then we'll go ahead and wrap up for this round.
Yeah, hello, John. The one of the things that was sort of interesting, because you were talking about turning this thing on and off and the number of leads and that sort of thing. I have the first call that I was able to get on to talk to somebody one-on-one. We had that issue that you talked about, that next person I'm trying to talk to, I'll talk to about the well, how do we know we can safely email these leads? And if they won't get off that, I think what they're doing is they're looking for a reason to not buy, so I let them not buy.
Yeah.
But he said, well, how many leads can we get? And I said, that's an unknowable number at this point. But what I can tell you, if you just leave it on, the number of leads you'll get is all of them.
Yeah,
but that's because I don't know what other number to give you. But if they type your search words into a search box on the internet, we'll capture it. And if you're going to go unlimited leads, you'll get all of them. And I don't know what else to say other than that. Do you have a more delightful way of saying it?
That's a good answer. You can get all that we can get for you. And if they want more, like you say, hey, let's just get the campaign started and let's see what you get out of the keywords that you specify. And if you want more, all we need to do is add more keywords for you. Just more opportunity to grab more share of the market. Because if you look at keywords, there's a gazillion keywords that they could potentially be searching for. And the question more to them is, how many would you like? If you want 1,000 and we put, 10 keywords in and we only get you 900, maybe we got to put 12 keywords in. If the question, turn it right back on them, and how many would you like? We'll figure out how to get that for you. That
Yeah,
would,
I think that's the right thing. You know, it was first called totally cold. It was a couple of weeks ago. So yeah. But the interesting thing is like, gee, I'm sure no salesperson's ever run into this. We're having the guys that are calling are having the problem of when we do get a phone number, not knowing who to ask for and getting past the gatekeepers and all that standard stuff. And I'm really wondering if there's a way to really sell this directly on the phone, or if you really should do with this what you're telling the people to do is, which is start with email, because you're gonna have to talk to somebody with email or whatever. It just seems to me like I don't you
yeah.
once we've got hot leads, that's a great thing, but you still got to have sales. You got to have sales ability, and you got to do that basic stuff, and that's always the problem.
And there's like Brady said, don't be afraid to say no to someone. There is normal objections that are I'm going to say they're good of heart. It's just a concern, and you address the concern's gone, and they're ready to move forward. There's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong. Like, don't think that, hey, this person can't have an objection or they're not right for me. That's not true. They could have a real objection, you address it, it's gone, and now the conversation turns back positive. But if you get somebody and you're telling them about this and they're just flat out combative, and it doesn't matter what you say, they're just going to be negative, don't be afraid to say, hey, you know, this isn't for everybody, and it doesn't sound like it's for you. And if that's the case and they really are just wanting to be combative, that's good enough. They'll just move on. So it's going to do one of two things. It's either going to make them compliant, or it's going to get them out of your face. If you do that, if you say, this really doesn't sound like it's for you, and they really want it, and they realize, oh, I'm really kind of being a dick here. I shouldn't do that. I really want this. It's going to make them compliant, and it's going to put them in order. And then you can have a civil, good conversation and possibly move them forward. But I can tell you right now, from human nature, I've dealt with a lot of people over a very long time, and there are some people that are just flat out miserable. You can't fix that. And you don't want that in your life. So it's like Nancy Reagan says, just say no. So don't be afraid to say no. So,
you know, by no, John, I mean, being willing to let them know what it's going to take. If somebody was to tell me that they have no skill set in email marketing whatsoever, I'm going to be very transparent that, hey, this can work for you, but it's going to take some skill set for you to develop on your end, or to hire it out, because the email automation is where our system is the most powerful within the real-time lead. So it doesn't that you're like keeping it from them. You know, don't be stupid, right? Sell it, but don't sell it thinking that they're just going to hit it out of the park and then they have a horrible experience and now it looks bad on you. Is kind of to clarify what I was saying. I want people to not go sell this, but just be okay with being upfront with them and letting them know this will take some time. But if they're email marketing professionals, my goodness, sell the software and get out of the way.
yeah, no, there's no doubt. You're right on the money, Brady, with that. But all I'm saying is there are some people that the system could be right for. They could make a fortune. We'd make a fortune, but they're just miserable people, and we just don't want to deal with them. They're just
Absolutely.
So that was my whole point there. If you have somebody that's argumentative and combative and they're just unreasonable, just say no and move on. There's too many good people out there. Believe it or not, there are good people in the world. There's a lot of them, and they need help. And those are the ones that we should be throwing the life ring to, not the one that is going to fight us and take us down and drown us if we try and save them. You know, learn that lesson from a lifeguard. A lifeguard will save the ones he can save, and he'll let the sea take the rest. Right? That sounds a little harsh, but a lifeguard, if he swims toward a struggling person that is not going to take his instruction, they're going to drown him. And then they're both going to be dead. So
technically, John, the interesting thing is if you're a lifeguard, I was trained in my youth when you're going out to someone who's struggling, when you're about 6 or 7 feet from them, you go underwater, and the first thing you do is pull them underwater. And then you get behind them and pull them up to the surface, and then they want to go with you. But that's how you do it, literally.
Yeah, yeah.
You have to half drown them, but I don't think that would be really good here.
But you get the point. You're putting your life in jeopardy to try and help someone that's going to struggle and fight you, right? No matter how you slice it. There might be ways to do it, but why do that when you've got so many people that are nice, compassionate people that need help? Just save the ones you can save and let the sea take the rest. That's my theory on it.
Absolutely, John, 100%.
So let's go to Mr. McLean. Oh, you're muted out there.
Fantastic. Thank you. Hello again. I just have a quick question. Let's say I was buying leads for myself in Kartra. I have a CRM. It's either Kartra or some other system. My question focuses on open rates and having that data. With the CRM, I will be able to know how many I sent out. Let's say I get some leads. I send out 100, just to use a number. And then with my CRM, I'm able to see how many got opened.
Yes.
And how many, then out of that 100, how many, requested a call, and ultimately how many people signed up. So I'm able to get all those analytics. If I'm selling this to a business, that has the CRM in place or a marketing team in place, they'll be able to get, of course, the same information with them.
Almost every CRM is going to have analytics built into it.
Right.
Kartra is no different. Like in the email, there's actually an analytics tab in Kartra that you can see your open rates. You can see your conversion rates. If you connect it to a conversion, like for an opt-in, you can tell how many opted in. That would be a conversion. So you have your conversion rate. You can track that all the way through sale. Because you might have a couple of conversions in your funnel. And with the analytics, this is the cool thing. It's like having a crystal ball. You can see where your funnel's broken. Like if your delivery rate is less than 99%, then the leads are broken. Our leads are solid. We have 99% across the board delivery rate. So you got no problem there. The next point of conflict is the open rate. If the open rate is low, then your funnel is broken fundamentally at the first step, which is the attention grabber. That's your headline.
Right.
So fix the headline. If your conversion rate there is good and your open rates are good, and you're not getting people to opt in, there's the break in your funnel. It's very easy to see where the break is when you have it in a CRM that's giving you these analytics. You can go right to the point of break and fix it and move on. And the cool thing here is, like, if you were doing this with SEO, it could take you years to figure this out. Because you'd have to do SEO to drive the traffic to get the analytics. And here you can buy 100 leads today and you can see the break today. You can fix it, and you can buy another 100 leads tomorrow and you can look and you can see the break and you can fix it. You can work your way through your breaks really, really fast with paid traffic. And that's what this is.
Okay. So I have so with that in mind, I have a pitch in mind. I've written down a couple things that I can tell people. But my question to you is, how would you pitch this to people? Just state, like, for example, someone says, I don't know, it sounds pretty good. And I said, well, listen, with your own CRM, my point is, I'll say, look, why don't you try it? Why don't you just set a test amount of, if you're wondering about it, why don't you just try a reasonable amount of searches? And using your own ability in your CRM, why don't you go ahead and give it a test and check your open rates,
What you're referring to there is not a pitch. You've already done the pitch. Now you're up against an objection.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
They're saying no. So whenever you encounter an objection, the first thing you want to do is you want to identify it.
Okay.
And the easiest way to identify an objection is just this. These exact words, if you change them, you're going to spoil the recipe. Say these exact words as I'm going to tell you. What is holding you back? And and then you zip your lips, you stop talking, and this could be a very uncomfortable pause. When you say that, there could literally be a 2-minute pause in them responding, and whoever speaks first is going to lose.
John, my longest was 18 minutes. And I just sat there for 18 minutes. But what he was doing was the calculations in his head about how to do it. And if I'd have opened my mouth, I'd have put my foot right in the middle of the sale. And he finally said, yep, you're right. That number works. But it took 18 minutes. It was a rather long 18 minutes.
Yeah, I mean, literally, you got to not say anything, and you got to make sure that you fend other people off from coming in and breaking his silence, because the gears are turning. He is processing the question you just asked him. What's holding you back? He's thinking about, oh my God, this is right. This is really good. There's a million things he's got to answer to give you the answer. And when he does, it might come quick. It might not. When it comes, the first answer is going to be superficial. He's just trying to get off the hook. So whatever he tells you isn't the real objection. So what you do is you accept the information. You be very understanding of it. You say, okay, yeah, I totally get that. Don't be combative. Don't try and solve the problem. Just say, I totally get that. And then you say, other than that, is there anything else holding you back? And now you're going to get the real thing. Now he's going to tell you what's really in the way. Because the first one might be, well, I got to check with my wife. And you say, well, okay, other than that, hey, if she's cool with it, that'd be awesome. But other than that, is there anything else holding you back? Now you're going to get the real deal. The first one was just a brush off. So it's really important that you do it twice. You have to get all the objections out on the table before you move forward, or you're going to lose. And I'm all about winning. They don't call me dabbler. They call me dominator. So I'm going to work the system. I'm going to follow the recipe, and I'm going to bake the same cake every time. So once he tells you the second one, and this could be the real deal, but maybe not. Maybe there's something else. Do the same process. Go, okay, I totally get that. I understand that. So other than that, is there anything else? Any other thing that would possibly keep you, and then reiterate what he's going to get out of it, his success? Is there anything else that's going to keep you from being successful today? And if there's nothing left, and you've run this to ground, there's nothing left. He's got all the objections on the table. Now you can go back and you can solve each objection for him, because it's basically, most objections are just they didn't understand. There was not a clear there's a misunderstanding somewhere. There was not a clear communication on your part. So you fix that, you repair the bridge, and then you go right back to where you started. Would you like to move forward with this now? Now that you understand, would you like to move forward? And it should almost always be a yes. Almost always. And that's how you get to that in the beginning. Like if you have done your presentation, you don't need to keep talking. If you've done your presentation, all you really need to say is a soft close. Does this sound like something you'd like to move forward with? That's it. That's your soft close. If they say yes, keep your mouth shut, pull the paperwork out, and sign the order. Put them in play. Don't take them back into the weeds. Don't go back into the sales process. Just move forward from there. Move to the next step. If they say, no, I'm not ready to move forward, that's when you go into what's holding you back. Get the objections out on the table, eliminate the objections, and go right back to step one. Now that you understand, would you like to move forward with that? It's a really simple sales process. That sales process is trained by Eric Laughlin, who got it from Dr. Moyne. And Dr. Moyne was a really good NLP sales trainer. So that's where that whole process that I just gave you, there's step by step. There's no changes, there's no alterations. It is perfect. There's no reason to recreate that. That has worked for a long, long time. So, in our 11 o'clock call in the ACT program, we're going to have Jay on there. Jay is a master NLP trainer. He's going to be talking about, eliminating objections using NLP. So that, I just want you guys to know that sales process that I've used for a long, long time was originated out of NLP by Dr. Moyne.
And I'm going to really screw up a lot of what you just said.
I hope you do. I hope you can give them a better solution. But I got to tell you, that simple thing has just
does work.
It has worked so well for me for a long time. So, all right, guys. Well, let's wrap this one up for today. We're going to be doing a lot of these. We're going to be doing these on a much more regular basis to help you, because we want you all to be really successful with Acquisitionaire. And we want to see how many people we can take to the 7-figure level in 2024. 2024 is our year. This is our year. You have an opportunity to go side by side with us and just take this thing by storm. And we want to be here every step of the way for you. So Brady's agreed that if I'm here ready or not, he's going to be doing these things as well. So between the two of us and now with Connie on board, we're going to be supplying you guys just an absolutely stellar level of support to help you. Whatever you need, we're here for you.
Just gonna let Connie run them. I didn't know it was Connie Keys. I'm blown away. I didn't have any clue it was Connie that I've met before. So I thought it was a different Connie. So I'm excited. Last thing I will say is this, John. I'm going to say it on every stinking webinar from here forward, even if everybody knows about it that's on the webinar. But please, 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 I'm not doing it for my own health. I'm doing it for you to update the support site. We still get tickets to this day. I don't know if I see anybody on here that maybe has asked a question that they could have just looked at the support site, but I'm not going to point fingers. Just kidding. But for real, the support site is where we're going to continue to dump all of this information. So if you have a question, it might be on the support site. Maybe go there before you fill out a ticket. But the support site is continuing to be updated every day, week, whatever you want to look at it. And I'm going to continue to do that with everything we talked about today. So looking forward to your success in 24.
And even better, I mean, I know there's a lot of you guys that don't want to watch the videos. I get it. It's time consuming. You want to get right to your answer. That's why I put Becky up there. Becky knows all the answers that are in that support system. So why in the world would you ask a question on the support and then wait several hours for one of us to get back to you when she can answer you like right now? So if she doesn't have the answer for you, that's a legitimate reason for you to open a support ticket. So we can train her for the next person that has that question. So that's all I got to say about that. She is at your beck and call.
So Becky is in the support system on the back end as well for asking questions.
Becky currently is on the acquisitionaire.com homepage. So that's where you guys can access her right now. We will be putting her in the support system as well. So look for her to be showing up on a more regular basis. She's coming to a web page near you.
Mike James put in the chat, where's the support site? Mike, here's your homework. Take the weekend and get on that support site and learn everything that's on it. It is, I just put the link in the chat. It is a members only, so you will need the credentials that you got whenever you purchased the product. If you don't have those, it's lost somewhere, email me, or actually I should say fill out a support ticket. Well, you can't because you can't log in. Email me, Brady at Internet Dominators, and I will resend your login details.
Yep. All right, guys. Well, hey, I want you all to have a great day, a great week, and get behind this thing. This is going to be really good for you all for this year. So get behind it. Help us all push it up the hill. We look forward to seeing you, as Brady says, at 30,000 feet. So have a great week, and we will talk to you soon.
See y'all.